I think one of the most fucked up and insane opinions a person can have is not liking cold water.
Yeah, okay. I think for a little while in high school, I really wanted to be different, and I was very anti, like, anything chilled. Like, I was really into room temp, and I loved saying, like, hey, Mom. Like, no, Mom. I wanted room temp.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like.
I think it's so... I'm like, cold... Like, cold... Like, a really cold water can be more delicious than, like a beautiful burgundy wine. Like, I'm sorry. It's like...
Hot take.
Ice cold water is one of the greatest joys in this life. And people are like, I hate cold water. I'm like, you are crazy. Wait, okay, but this is my new obsession. I can't... Because my sister was visiting. My sister was visiting this past weekend.
Okay.
And I love her so much. And this is not like... She would admit to this if she was here.
Right.
She is an incredibly picky eater. Like, one of the pickiest eaters I know.
God, I love your sister.
No, but it's hard.
I hate a picky eater.
Same. And she knows this. She knows.
There's nothing
But I'm
worse.
trying to have empathy towards it because I need to understand, like, is your brain different than mine? Do you know what I mean?
They do have something different
I'm
in
like,
there.
is something going on? Because, like, I genuinely don't understand the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
And when we were younger, I used to think, like, so welcome to Basic Training, a podcast for people that need help.
And a podcast for people that don't have patience for picky eaters. And rolling.
We did that so late. No, but it's like, I don't understand, like, the way my sister is picky doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, she loves, like, bread and cheese. Like, she loves a cheese plate. She'll eat... we went out when I was visiting her in Boston in the spring. We went out to like 3 different restaurants, and at every place she would order. I was like, "Have you realized that you've ordered like the combination of bread and cheese on every single menu? Like it's a focaccia, it's pizza, it's like a brie dip, like it's something like that." Ugh. So I take her out here to my favorite restaurant, Bernie's, which is famous for their mozzarella sticks. So like, we gotta get the mozzarella sticks. She has one, and I go, "Did you like it?" And she goes, "Yeah, they're really good. I'm just not really a mozzarella stick person." It's like, how? What? Like I don't understand. But it's like, so I'm like, with picky eaters. But
you guys need to know that I saw Jake a couple days ago, and this was bothering him then too. Like the fact that she rejected the mozzarella sticks.
I'm just like, I love you so much, Maddie, but like, it just is really interesting to me. But what's interesting to me about it is like when we were kids, I used to think it was like a power play. Like, oh, I want to be special, so I'm gonna pick, like what you just said about the cold water thing, where it's like, I want to be different. I want to be special. I want to have control. I also think it's like a control thing of like, if you feel out of control of your life in certain ways, it's like what I eat I'm in control of. I get that.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, my sister and other picky eaters I know, they carry it as a burden. They're like, I wish I wasn't like this. And in my mind, I'm like, then just eat the thing.
No, it's not that simple. I want to shake their shoulders too, but like I think that it's like a mental hurdle and they're still trying to get over it. Like I was hanging out with my friend and he told me he had to break up with this girl recently because she could only eat grilled cheese.
I would
like that's
like
all
literally
she could eat. Like that and like maybe some sort of potato, like fries.
Yeah,
or home
I would break up. That would be. There's not even a negotiation in my mind of like.
I
that's a
know,
breakup.
but it was like a Seinfeld episode. He was like, "I'm obsessed with her, but like she cannot.
That's funny.
Eat anything that's not white or cheese.
Yeah,
like,
I can't do that. I can't.
I can't either. And I think it's so childish, but I think that it's like an actual issue that they have in their brain. I was raised to believe that a picky eater was like. My parents are so like hippie, eclectic, weird. I thought a picky eater was somebody who like wouldn't eat like a raw chicken leg when we went to like some weird restaurant downtown. Like that's like they would make me eat anything, or they wouldn't make me. Like I was
the
down
bar
to
for
eat
what
anything.
it was. Yeah,
the bar was so high for like what 100%. A picky eater was. That like I was like eating. I don't know. I have this vivid memory of like trying like a chicken leg, like not a chicken leg, but like a foot, like the cartilage and the bone.
Yeah.
And my parents were, I was like, yeah, of course I'm going to try it. I was like 11.
Right.
And I was like, anybody who wouldn't eat this, I hate picky eaters. But it's like, I guess that's not that weird. You know what I mean? Weird flex. Anyway.
I find it very fascinating. No, but if that's one of my number one red flags on a date is if like, if we go to a restaurant and they're like picky, it's out. I'm out immediately.
Okay. I guess that's fair. I think I would just take them to a place where I'd have to be able to see if they were picky. I can't tell from the first date. May I, ask a question for the crowd? I've been very sleep deprived recently, and the other day, two nights ago, I was walking, on the phone with my mom, and I kind of just wandered over. It was probably 10 p.m. Wandered over to the Gramercy Park area on the phone, hung up, and then just kind of got, for a moment, sucked into my phone and started looking at the screen and I had my headphones in, which is so unsafe and stupid, but whatever. I was drifting, and I like started leaning against this pole, scrolling at something on my phone. And I hear somebody like snap me out of it. And this guy like materializes out of nowhere. I didn't see where he came from. I just know that I took out my headphone, I looked up, and there he was standing above me. And
Old guy?
No. Like
Okay.
probably 30.
Okay.
I've never seen a hotter guy in my life, okay? I like genuinely, my ideal man was standing before me, like the most beautiful guy, and in my eyes, okay? So like think about what Talia would deem like most.
I'm doing it.
You're
Yeah.
thinking about it. It's very specific.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is the most beautiful guy.
I could
okay?
pull up. I know exactly who I could pull up on Instagram right now to be like, he vaguely looks like this guy. And
Yes,
say
exactly. Okay, yeah, you know me so well.
Where's my phone? I'll do it.
Yeah, do it. But another thing that I don't think I've revealed is that there are two names for men that I've always thought I will marry a guy with one of these two names. Like, I
Okay.
love these two names. I look out for them on Hinge because I just have this feeling in my heart that my soulmate is named either Jeff or David. Those are the names of my two male first cousins, but forget that. I just happen to like the names Jeff and
This guy
David.
on the right.
Really fucking close. Really fucking close.
I knew it.
Smaller nose, but thank you. This guy you just pulled out like the like a anti-Semitic caricature of
No,
a man.
stop.
He's like, Talia, this guy.
One
But
of the
you're
hottest
close.
men on Instagram, in my opinion.
No, he's really, really hot. But no, this guy had and this guy also, the hair wasn't as brown. It was more black. I prefer like really, really dark hair. So this guy was like standing above me. He reaches out his hand. He goes, "Hi, I'm Jeff." I'm like, oh my God. Like, I love the name Jeff. I'm just so attracted to it. I don't know why. Again, my first cousins are named Jeff and David. I've always thought I will marry a Jeff or a David. It has nothing to do with my first cousins. Please don't make it weird, okay? It's
The
just,
way
I
that
like these
not a
names.
soul listening to this podcast would have known that your cousins' names were Jeff and David.
My uncle would, and he listens. Shout out to Uncle
I think
Elliot.
that could have been a text, but now every one of them.
Okay, whatever. So I just like those two names, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they're my cousins. Or maybe it does. I just feel comfortable with those two names. But I really like the name Jeff. And the guy says, "Hi, I'm Jeff."
GEO or JE?
Oh, so okay, that's another issue. If I find out that it's named GEO, I'm gonna have to call it.
It can't be Joff.
JEFF is perfect. So I had a feeling it was that type of Jeff. He seemed like,
Yeah.
whatever. So I was like, oh my God, you're so hot. So he reaches out his hand. He goes, "Hi, I'm Jeff." I'm like, "Hi, I'm Talia." I have never looked more schlubby in my life. Okay.
Great.
He goes, "Yeah, I'm just like heading over from West Side Market. It's 10 p.m. I'm like, are you my husband? Like, you're doing a nighttime run to West Side Market? Like, I love you
Yeah.
so much. You know, I'm there every 1 a.m. I know the night cruise names by heart.
That's
That is my
so-
spot.
I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
I can go to either one. They know me. Okay. So
Are the West Side Markets 24 hours?
Yes.
Good to know.
So whenever I'm bored and I can't sleep, I go to West Side Market, and everyone knows I go to sleep at 5 a.m. every single night. So that's what I do every night. So a guy presenting himself and materializing out of thin air and saying, "My name is Jeff. I am 6'3". I have brown or dark black hair. I definitely am Jewish, like 100% sure. And I'm coming from West Side Market." I was like, I thought you into my life. Look at my mind. Like that Ariana Grande song. Okay. So I was like, what the fuck is happening? I've never looked worse, and I'm just standing there like, yeah, like, oh my God, I go to West Side Market all the time. He's like, he just gets straight to it. He goes, "Do you want to get a drink sometime?" Like, we didn't even talk.
This is incredible.
I'm like,
This is incredible.
Yeah,
this is what
sure.
this is the number one thing this podcast advocates, is
I
what
know.
this man is doing.
I was so psyched. So I go, "Yeah, totally." And I'm putting my number in his phone. I put in Talia L because I don't want him to go and like Google me. But I put in Talia L and I put my phone number, and we're just having a little chat. And he says he lives in this building right across the street from where we are. He's like, "Oh, like, thank goodness for the pole that you leaned on, or else I wouldn't have met. Like, well, I just want to make sure you're okay, but let's get a drink." And I was like, "Yeah, totally." So I put my number in. I say goodbye. I haven't heard from this guy. And more time goes by, and as much as I'm like getting to realize how little sleep I've had this week, I think I made him up.
Talia, you can't tell me this. You think you fully hallucinated?
I think he was a mirage, and I think I hallucinated him. He hasn't texted me.
Okay, I had. Do you know what my first thought was when you said he didn't text you was? I was like,
I should have called myself on his phone. That was stupid of me.
That's what you should have done. My first thought was he went to because what time did you say it was?
It was probably like 10, 11.
Yeah, I think he popped an Ambien at 9 and was sleepwalking to West Side Market.
You're absolutely wrong. He was wearing a button-down shirt. He looked like he was like coming from the office.
Okay,
like,
fine.
He was like dressed. He was in jeans and like a button-down.
Okay, Jeff, you need to text Talia so that she doesn't lose her grip on reality, please.
No, like we don't even have to go on a date. I need to know that this happened. Okay? If your name is Jeff or if you know a Jeff, if it's spelled GEO, don't text me. But if you know a Jeff with a J and he lives in the Gramercy Park area, I'm not going to say any more details for his safety.
He's tall and Jewish.
But he's tall. I shouldn't say he's Jewish. But
tall,
if
you might guess he's Jewish, and there's a pole near his house.
He looks Jewish, and there's a pole near his place. I need you to let him know that I feel like I'm losing my mind.
That's so funny.
But I can't. Should I go to the apartment and just kind of hang around there another night?
I think you do another walk.
I'll do another walk. I'm not going to sit outside the apartment.
No, you can't sit outside the apartment. That's actually crazy.
I'll definitely hang out in that area a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was so gorgeous, Jake. And he was so forward and like friendly.
I asked for Hawkeye's number on the subway.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and?
We have texted, so he was not a mirage. It actually happened.
Cool. Congrats.
But I haven't asked him to get a drink yet, and it's for one reason and one reason only, and it's that he lives on the Upper West Side, which is just far from me. But I need to get over that.
I've gone out with guys because they live on the Upper West Side.
No, I understand you and I are different in that way. I'm getting a little too. I'm realizing I'm maybe not being too picky, but I'm swiping left on people, and I mean that like actually on the apps and in real life as well. Like, not deciding I don't want to date people for like. I truly swiped left on someone today because they were a Pisces. I saw that they were a Pisces.
Who the I'm sorry, it's not even that they're Pisces. It's the fact that they put that in their bio. That's weird.
Well, on Hinge, it like is one of the. It prompts you to put it.
Oh. Can I have you listen to a voice message that I got on Hinge that just really turned me on?
Have I? How would I have listened to that? What?
Could I have you listen to it?
Oh, can you? Yeah. Okay. I thought you said, have you heard it? I was like, where is this available?
Wait, hold on. I'm going to tell you. Cut this 1 second. Where's my dot? So, as we all know, Talia needs to get laid. And she's needed to get laid for like many, many months, okay? It's at the point like, I don't know. Like, I think I need to go to some kind of like, is there women's like...
Yes.
What? What did you think I was going to say?
Like male sex workers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to get some sort of
officially
massage.
mark it today, October 18th at 11:14. Talia and JP and finishing each other's sentences. We've crossed
that was really cute.
We've crossed the threshold. Ooh, did you see me just not be able to say that? We've crossed the threshold.
I haven't been able to say anything today. I'm on 2 Xanax right now and 2 hours of sleep. So I set my Hinge preferences to age 36 to 45. And here's why. I don't want a boyfriend. I do want a hot divorced dad who I can have sex with and really have fun. Okay? None have met my criteria yet. My vagina, the barrier has yet to be broken. I really think it's like closed up by now. It's been that long. Okay, so please listen to this voice message that I got. This is the hottest thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
Okay, so this is Jake several days after we recorded this episode, and we decided we are not going to play this poor innocent man's Hinge voice note, but please know it was literally not sexy at all, not even a little bit, not even close.
Okay. Maybe it was hotter last night.
When I tell you, I have experienced nothing less sexual in my life than that voice memo. Like, nothing. In listening to that, went from being gay to straight to asexual and then back to like gay again, but not liking him.
Okay, I may have like been hallucinating again when I thought that was really hot. I think when I remembered...
At the end he said, my name's Jeff and I live at Gramercy Park. And then
Oh my God, I miss Jeff. Okay, fine. Maybe that wasn't what then what did I think was so hot? What was the voice message I listened? I'm not well. And I thought that the sound of that guy's voice, whether that was the guy meant to play for you or not, admit the sound of his voice was like vinyl, like cracking on a.
He had a good voice. I'll maybe give you that.
And he sounds like he's like 46 divorced.
When people send Wait, sorry. Was that like a voice memo just available on his profile, or did he send that to you?
On his profile, because the prompt was like, you should not go out with me.
100%. I never listen to those because I know they're going to make me cringe. I'm like...
Mine won't make you cringe. You want to hear it?
You have voice notes on your Hinge profile?
Yeah.
I'm going to sneeze.
That
Hold
sucks.
for 20 minutes while I try to sneeze.
I'm so sorry.
It's one of the worst things that can happen to a person.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to play you my Hinge note on my Hinge profile. You're going to take back what you just said.
Coming from the kids that Talia babysits.
Talia is a very sweet and caring person, and she loves being with kids. Anything else?
She's hilarious. She'll never fail to make you laugh.
She's blonde.
Blue eyes.
Yeah, blue eyes. She's hilarious. She makes me laugh a lot. And great person. You should date her.
Okay, that's a slam dunk.
It's not even, it's
I mean,
more
that's
than
unreal.
a slam dunk.
That's unreal.
It gets everybody.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
I didn't bribe them. They are well over, 12 years old. One of them just had a bar mitzvah. They are full-grown people.
Yeah.
And they are capable of making their own decisions, and they love me, and they want me to be happy. So
Do you want to see
down.
Do you want to see my current Hinge profile? I like to. Talia is one of the few people I trust to like give me an opinion on my Hinge profile and tell me what I should do.
I'm really good at this.
All right, this is the current status of it.
When I see like a friend I know and their Hinge pops up and I it's bad, like it breaks my heart.
Okay,
Like so many people have a really bad Hinge. Okay. A boundary of mine is I'm not getting an iced Americano if they're out of cold brew.
Yeah,
Okay.
that gets a lot of hits.
Good. Great. I can't relate, but like I get it.
I hate an iced Americano.
I don't even know what that is. My most irrational fear, accidentally eating that little weird packet inside the beef jerky bag.
Terrified
That's
of it every time.
honestly really funny.
Thank you. Terrified of it. One of my biggest fears.
My simple pleasures, long walks featuring frequent stops for treats and beverages.
That's my favorite day.
Yes. It's a little bit like
Cutesy tweet.
cutesy TikTok girl, cutesy Twitter girl.
All right, that has to be amended immediately then.
There's another thing that we need to address.
I am really nervous.
You look amazing. I want to say that, and you know I mean it.
Okay, I'm really nervous.
But you have a beautiful smile, and there's something that you're doing instead of smiling, which is
Wait, I'm smiling in all the photos.
no.
Don't show this to the camera.
No.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
You don't want the smolder pictures at the end?
The smolder is like this.
That picture? Okay, I'll delete it.
You have to delete it. I'm just saying, like, maybe not two smolders.
Yeah, actually, that's so true. They are right next to each other.
Do you want to do my Hinge profile?
Wait, so do you think delete both of these and replace with...
Delete the one in the car and replace it with a different photo. Will you read mine?
Yeah, but I'm going to replace it first, and I want
Okay.
you to tell me.
We paid for the studio time. I'm just saying. Here. Okay, you have to be honest. That picture was from a while ago. I will say that.
Yeah, okay. I all I've seen is the first picture.
Okay.
And what I'll say about it is it paints a picture of a different girl.
Really? It does look like me though, right?
It looks
not
like
a catfish.
you.
Okay.
No. It's not a catfish at all. But like this to me is like a girl who has 6 bachelorette parties a year.
Really?
You're wearing a cowboy hat at Southern Barbecue.
Okay.
I don't.
Fair.
I think you put this one. I actually think you put this one last.
Okay.
And then it goes last, and it's like, oh, she can be fun too. Do you know what I mean?
Got it.
But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy. Guys are gonna ask this girl to go like watch the game at Woji's.
What is Woji's?
It's like a bar on Greenwich Avenue where people eat wings and watch football.
I love eating wings and watching football.
Okay, then maybe keep your photo there. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Am I allowed to put? Okay, because here's the thing. Wait. What about this photo instead? I took this waiting for my sister at the airport because the lighting was good.
No, your eyes look weird. You have
My
a
eyes
beautiful
look
smile. What is in my nose? You have a beautiful smile. Should we get to the questions?
Fine.
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, I just want to get out of the way. I love your podcast. It's truly a blessing to my ears to hear people that are more toxic than I am, because sometimes I feel like I'm like really super fucking toxic. And it's just nice to hear that people are worse than me.
Dragged to hell. Wait, it's refreshing to listen to people that are more toxic than I am. Is he talking about the callers or us?
Definitely us. Are you kidding? The callers are so nice and sweet.
I don't think we're toxic.
Now into the story. There's a lot to unpack here, and I don't have a lot of time to unpack it. So, really, the long and short of it is like a year ago, my best friend dated my brother, and it kind of sucked for our friendship a lot, but we got over it. It took us a year. It took us a year to fully repair the friendship back together, but she got over him, and we got over it.
I'm toxic. You sound like you're on coke. He's talking so fast. I love you.
Oh.
Should we cut that?
Sorry, like Jake just got really upset by the toxic comment. Fuck. I take toxic as a compliment. I think it means funny.
Our friendship was
Okay,
awesome
we need to
until
keep-
this past summer when she started talking to my other brother, and now our friendship is kind of going, boop. Friendship is fucking dying
Are
again.
the people you're talking about in the room right now? Why is this person whispering?
It just sounds like bad quality.
And I talked to her about it multiple times, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to drop her as a friend because she's like my best friend, you know? It's just a lot. It is just a lot, and it's so much. And I've talked to her about it, and I've talked to like all of my friends about it. All of my friends are probably sick of hearing me fucking complain about my best friend dating my brother.
Brothers.
And yet it's still happening. And yet, no matter how much I talk
Brothers?
about it, I can't seem
That
to
sorry,
get
I think
over
you
it.
missed that part. She's dating the other brother now. Let's go
Okay,
back.
but no.
She
We
got
don't need
over
to go
him,
back.
and
Okay.
we got over
I
it.
got that.
And our friendship was great. Our friendship was awesome until this past summer when she started talking to my other brother, and now our friendship is kind of going,
How did I miss that? Oh my god,
Because
you're
I
right.
accused him of being on coke right after. Okay.
friendship is fucking dying again. And I've talked to her about it multiple times, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to drop her as a friend because she's like my best friend, you know? It's just a lot. It is just a lot, and it's so much. And I've talked to her about it, and I've talked to like all of my friends about it. All of my friends are probably sick of hearing me fucking complain about my best friend dating my brother. And yet it's still happening. And yet, no matter how much I talk about it, I can't seem to get over this fact. And it's kind of like really damaging for the friendship. And it's really sort of just like hard to be around them like all the time. And I know this is like a classic story, okay? This is like a classic tale. But I super genuinely do not know what to do.
Okay, Summer, I
And
turned
that's where I'm
pretty.
looking for the advice.
Let's discuss it.
Okay.
Kiki, do your thing.
Wait, I'm obsessed with that. Kiki. I love you. I know I accused you of being on coke, but I actually genuinely love you. I also like listen to how fast I talk and the sound of my voice. This brings up a very interesting topic that neither of us can really experience because I'm gay, and I don't have gay siblings, and you don't have siblings. So I don't have a person to think about in terms of like how I would feel about fucking someone that my brother has fucked.
I just don't get why the other brother is like okay with it too.
There's so many things going on here. There's actually so many things going on here because one, it's really like that's crazy. It's crazy to me that she wanted to date both of her best friend's brothers. That's really wild. Unless it's the kind of thing where they are like best friends in the way where they literally spend all their time together, and so the only people she's seeing are like also his brothers. You know what I mean? Or it's like a really small town. But even still, like I've never hooked up with siblings. Like I've never hooked up with two people that are siblings.
I have.
Did you feel weird about it?
No. They were really hot.
Okay.
No, I never had sex with either of them. I like at different points in my life had kissed both of them. Does that
That's,
count?
I think, different.
Yeah, I think that's different. And it was like kind of like a running thing. Like everybody who'd stepped foot in like UC Berkeley Hillel had kissed these brothers, or at least one of them.
And I guess like it happens in like 1,000,001 rom-coms where like people, like, I don't know, like in The Family Stone that happens. Like, I do think it's strange.
I just think the girl is really weird. Your friend is really weird.
Yeah. I'm almost like, does your friend want to fuck you so she's fucking your brothers because you're not available?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I don't think that's the case. I think that, look, like you're attracted to who you're around. Like I do think that it's like the circumstances bring her around these two brothers a lot. And it does make sense that like she would date one of them. But the fact that she's dated both, despite the fact that it caused all this drama in your friendship before, is so insane. But I also like, if you don't want to not be friends with her anymore, I don't know what the solution is. I think that she's in a space of like, she's feeling, I don't know, she has to date these guys, whether she likes them or not. She doesn't feel comfortable just choosing you over them because she's probably fucking insecure. Like that's insecurity. That's not being able to prioritize you. If you've expressed that you don't want her to do this twice now and she still keeps doing it, she's not being a good friend.
Yeah.
And you're being a much better friend for being like, I don't want to dump her. It's like a lot of people would take a break from her.
Yeah.
But I think that the best thing you can do is like go hang out with other people.
Yeah, you mentioned that all your other friends are like sick of you talking about it. It's like that probably means that it sounds like this is affecting your life negatively enough that I think you need to cut her out.
It sounds like you just need to like stop, like let this. I get that you love your friend, I really do, but you need to let this relationship play out. You've expressed to her, and you've expressed to everybody now that you don't want it happening. She isn't doing anything about it. You're not going to unfriend her. Respect. You're a great person. I don't think she doesn't love you, but I think that she's operating from a place of deep insecurity where she needs to do this, and it sucks. So let her do it. You go hang out with other people, create some distance. You don't need to start a fight. You don't need to say you're mad at her. You just need to say, I'm busy. Keep saying, I'm busy. Go hang out with my brother. It's not a problem. Just go do that. You just need to make other friends. She'll come around. She'll grow up.
Yeah.
If you've decided you don't, like, I would say don't be friends with her, but you don't want
I think
that.
you can say, I think you could also be like, hey, like last time that you dated one of my brothers, the last time you dated one of my brothers, it was really hard on the friendship.
I think she knows that.
I was going to say, so just, you can be like, I'm not going to tell you to not date my next brother. But like, I think maybe while you do that, like we should have some space.
Yeah.
And then if it involved, and then like if a year down the line, it's like you and her, she and your brother are like really serious, then maybe you try to figure out a friendship. But like, while it's messy, maybe take a break is my thought.
You articulated that beautifully. Beautifully. That's exactly how I feel.
That is like a crazy situation.
I'm not entirely convinced. I'm having a hard time committing myself to giving advice to that story because I feel like it was made up.
Wait, really?
Like, I believe you, but I also just don't. Like, I feel like...
See, because the reason I believe it is because it sort of happened in my high school.
Okay.
The names of two brothers and the girl that hooked up with both, that like was like sleeping with both of them, immediately came to my mind. And I had forgotten about them for years and years and years.
I guess it happens when you're around people. Like, oh, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, did you go to, like, there's also something very strange about when people get obsessed with twins.
Oh, that's weird.
Like, there were twins at my high school, and I feel like all these girls had crushes on them, and it's like, I'm like, fuck? I was like, you kind of gotta like pick one, guys. Like, this feels weird.
That's so
like,
gross.
Yeah.
I would hate having a twin.
Yeah,
I compare myself to myself too much already. Like, I don't even know what I would do.
I've thought about that.
If
like,
somebody in the world looked exactly like me. 100%. And also, this is really fucked up, but it's true. There's always a hotter twin. Even when they're identical. There's always one twin that's hotter. Always. Even if they're like literally completely identical, like the Weasley twins. There's still one that's hotter. I can always determine which is hotter, and everyone knows it.
That's so funny.
Sorry. That's just an objective truth. Here are some other objective truths about siblings. Your parents have a favorite. They do. And as a person who doesn't have siblings, I can objectively look, like from the outside looking in, it is so easy to tell. Like, show me, let me spend some time with your family for 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
all of them don't even have to be there. I can tell who your parents like the best. And it's pathetic that parents still keep saying, like, I get that they have to, and I get that you have to believe it in order to keep going. But it's insane when I hear adult people say, of course my parents love us all equally. Like, shut the fuck up.
100%.
Are you kidding me?
100%.
Are you fucking kidding me? The only reason I'd want to have kids is so I can go and hang out with my husband at night and we can rank all of our kids every single day. Of course they have a favorite. It's usually the firstborn. Usually. Firstborn has the firstborn advantage.
Yeah, you especially if you want to talk about firstborn advantage.
Yeah.
I'm the first grandchild in my family. That's a whole nother level.
A whole
That's
other
crazy.
level.
Like it's crazy.
I
and like
was
it's
the
just
first
undeniable.
female grandchild. My grandparents, like it's palpable. Like I have beef with my cousins over this thing.
Yeah.
And now they don't like me as much because I haven't been as good as an adult. But when I was a kid, yes. But what was my other thing? Oh, okay. So there's the firstborn advantage of every sibling that's firstborn obviously gets like a huge leg up.
100%.
But a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the sibling who's the nicest to the parents, like the one that ends up taking care of them in their old age.
They're doomed.
They always think that they're the one who the parents like better. No, it's always the funny one that has another leg up. The parents always like the rebel better. Always. Okay. I could teach a whole course on this. I could teach a college course on how to choose who the favorite sibling is. I'm always right. I can check. I've checked with the parents of the kids I babysit. I've said, is this one your favorite? And they've said, yeah.
It's also
I always know.
There's nothing like when you see a family where you're like, wow, those parents like the boys more than the girls. Like that's a huge sons get an advantage.
Sons get a huge leg up.
Like if you are in a group like, and I'm speaking like if you're in a group of siblings and the oldest is a boy, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Well,
unless he's a real dick.
If the parents have two kids and the oldest is a boy and the younger is a girl, then it's pretty close. It's interesting. If it's a group, well, it depends. If it's a group and the youngest one is a girl, it's usually the girl who's the favorite because they tried for a girl.
But it depends on the size of the group because after 5, something's wrong with your parents.
Okay, duh. I would
psychologically
say
something.
We're different people. After 2, to me, it's like, what the fuck is going on in here?
No,
but
I think upwards of. I think 3 is still. I think 3 kids is a normal amount of kids.
3 kids is normal.
I think 4 is like okay, that's like a little intense.
Yeah.
I say this is I'm the oldest of 5.
I can always tell who the black sheep is. I can always tell who the favorite is. Always.
100%.
Always. And it's these kids, I feel so bad for these kids who like take care of their parents in old age thinking that it's like, of course I'm the favorite. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're the pushover. Okay, wait.
I do think sometimes when they start taking care of them, it changes.
There's a certain like appreciation, obviously, but they always like miss the other person.
Interesting. Okay, next call.
Hi, my name's Chloe. I'm 19 and I'm a sophomore in college. This is my first year.
Sorry, do you know what that reminded me of? I'm. What the fuck is it from Maury? Maury?
Yeah.
I like to fuck.
You're living off campus, and I live with 3 other girls.
Okay.
And one thing that I noticed is there's just one girl in the house that I like really click with extra. And we've been talking about it. One of the girls is going to live with her boyfriend next year, but me and the one that I'm closer with feel like we kind of just want to get a 2-bed next year. And we don't know how to bring that up with the 4th girl and tell her that we don't want to live with her, but we still want to be her friend. I love you guys. I listen to your podcast every week. If you have any advice on this, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Is Cal a school where you live on campus all 4 years? Unless you're in a sorority house. What in the Legends of the Hidden Temple was that?
What the fuck was that reference? You fucking old man. Okay. At Cal, even the dorms were like off campus. Like it was after freshman year, everybody was getting apartments or living in a sorority.
Okay, yeah. Same at UVM, but it's after sophomore year.
Okay. So yeah, this was a big problem.
I was
in
like, these
college.
dynamics. I'm asking because like I feel like this. I'm like, did you go to my college? Because it was like that. These dynamics and dramas were
It sucks.
every year constant.
I think you're gonna have to accept that like that third girl is no matter how you break this to her, no
She's
matter
mad.
what you do, there's gonna be a rift and it's gonna suck, but you're gonna get over it. I've been here. You're gonna get over it.
I would say, okay, my advice is honestly go find some sort of like manifestation spell on TikTok, and you have 1 week to sort of cast some sort of spell that this third girl, like meets someone new or has a friend who has a room that she wants, and that she's actually like, hey guys, I want to, like, because like sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're so nervous to tell someone like, hey, we don't want to live with you next year, and then they actually reveal that they also don't want it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're planning to move, and it ends up being a non-issue. But let's hope for that. Find a witch to help you out there. If not, if it is like she fully is planning and expecting and wanting to live with you next year, and you have to break it to her, the sooner the better, because the more time you give her to find a better place to live, the less likely the resentment will last. Like if you tell her last minute and then she has like 2 weeks to find something and ends up in something shitty, she'll hate you forever.
Forever.
She'll hate you
There's
forever.
no hope. What you can do, okay, so yeah, I maintain that there's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, this is the worst day ever. Okay.
It's 11:41 a.m.
First of all, you didn't even tell the audience that I'm brunette. No.
You're getting brunette. I really like it. It looks great.
It's pretty dark,
It's
right?
It's pretty dark. I would call you dirty blonde right now.
I think I like this hair color.
It's really good.
I want to go to natural brown. Okay. There is no easy way that this is going to happen.
No.
You have to accept that she's probably going to be mad at you, even if you find some witch who's going to make it so that she finds a new. If she finds the most beautiful apartment in the world where they happen to need one more person and she ditches you guys, she's still going to know. Like she knows deep in her heart, every person who's slightly excluded in a roommate situation, they know. Like that needs to be said. People know. I had to burp. That's why these videos of people like filming other people, like friend groups in public at Starbucks, being like, oh my God, these people were talking about how they actually think you're kind of annoying and they're not even your real friends. And I'm telling TikTok now to save you. It's like, that person knows, okay?
Also, stop doing that.
But that's a different conversation.
Stop doing that. It's like, I'm literally always like, I think that is so bizarre.
It's insane. No. We'll start next episode with that. But those people are nuts. But this person knows that you don't like her as much as your other friend, right? She knows. You need to do this sooner rather than later. And you need to like hint to her, like, there's two ways. Do you think that she knows that you guys are looking at other places? If you do, then what you need to do is say, where are you going to live next year? What do you look? Have you found anything good? And then she's going to be like, oh, I don't know. Like, and then she'll get the hint that she needs to look for something for herself. Yeah. If you really think this is going to blindside her, which I do not think it will, like people, as I said, people know when they are excluded.
I will say there is like unfortunate, like in my life, there have been a few times where there has been someone who it's like, their like curse is that they are truly oblivious to that shit. Like
that's sad.
It is, but that
rare.
makes it harder. It's rare, but it is.
If she's in that group, then you need to sit her down and say, you can say like there's nothing against you, but again, she's gonna know. Say we found this place together. We happen to be looking together. Yeah. And we don't know what to do.
I also think, unfortunately, the reality of the world is like, you're allowed to not like things about people. Do you know what I mean? Like you are allowed to be like, I like you as a friend. I don't enjoy living with you. I want to move. I'm going to move. And that can hurt someone's feelings. I've had friends, I've lived with some of my very close friends and we have like agreed like, oh, my two best friends and I were roommates for 3 years. And by the end of it, we were like, I don't like living with you. You know what I mean? Like I love you. You're one, and they're still two of my closest friends. But like living with them was not my favorite thing in the world. You know what I mean? And I think that that's okay. And I think it's like, and also when you're ending things, like if you're ending living with someone, it's the same thing with like breaking up with people where you're like, I think sometimes being like softening the blow of the breakup or softening the blow of like delivering the news like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Hey, I don't want to live with you anymore. It actually makes it worse because then it gets dragged out. Do you know what I mean? It's like we live in a world where people get hurt a little bit, and these hurts are like, I know it sucks to hurt anyone at all, but like hurting someone's feelings by saying like, hey, like we've lived together for a year, I don't want to do it again next year, like that's part of life. It is part of life. You are not a bad person.
Episode just like the advice is this is life. Deal with it.
Maybe a little bit.
I think that this is not the first time you're going to have this dilemma.
Yeah.
And everyone in college has had this dilemma. Like this happens all the time with roommates. You can say all these nice things of like, I want to stay friends with you, therefore we shouldn't be roommates. Like this is a situation that works. There's no other way around it. Like it's just true. Like what are you going to do? Look for another place? You can't. This is what's happening. Period. End of story.
Right, because the other option is you live with her again next year, and I'll tell you this right now, I've seen this happen, and by the end of next year, the three of you will fucking hate each other.
And you can tell her that. She knows it's true deep down, but she's still not going to believe it. You have to like be okay with the fact that however you're going to do this, there's going to be a little resentment.
Right.
Do you want it to be a ton of resentment when you hold off and you pretend like it's you know, like this isn't going to hurt her? Or do you want to be just completely honest with her and maybe have a chance at keeping the friendship later on? Like
I think that's
it's a no-win situation.
There's no getting out of this clean with no conflict at all. Like this is the reality of the situation, but I think you're going to be fine.
Chloe.
Love you, Chloe.
You're queen. We've all been there. It's been years since this happened. Like with my college roommates, I still haven't been able to like figure out what would have been the best way to do it. But if it makes you feel better, we're all 24 and we're all still friends. Actually, that's a lie. And the ones I'm not friends with really anymore, we just grew apart, but it had nothing to do with like roommate stuff. But there was so much roommate drama in college, and none of the people I had quote unquote roommate drama with are like not my friends anymore. So usually like it is going to pan out. It's just a very college experience.
Most roommate drama, and this is not just like colleges, I think like in life in general, unless it's like really fucked up roommate drama, but like the banal stuff that it feels so intense when you're going through it because it's in your house, you're living with it. But I think a lot of times once you move out, you're both like, oh yeah, we don't live together anymore, so I don't care about that. They're like not doing the dishes, like whatever like those little things are. Like when you stop living together, that stuff immediately fades away.
Exactly.
Like it completely does.
I was the worst roommate ever in college.
I
lived in a house with people.
I used to be a really bad roommate, and I think I'm a good roommate now.
I was like a good social.
Same.
I'm a social hire. I'm a personality
100%.
hire. When it came to like, I had to be reminded every day to go do the dishes and whatever my
100%.
chores were, and they got pissed. They were so tired of me, but we're all still friends.
Yeah.
It happens. College is weird.
I'm going to leave it anonymous. First thing is, I love the podcast.
Thank you.
And I'm a college student, and I think all your advice really resonates. So anyway, yeah. This is not even a problem, but I've been blessed with the gift of having a great boyfriend and great friends. And I've never wanted to be that girl that only hangs out with her boyfriend and completely ditches her friends once she gets a boyfriend. And
Sure.
I've just been feeling like there's not enough time in the day, like with like studying and going out and then like my boyfriend, my friends, like I just don't know like what the balance is. And I mean, my friends have never said like, oh, you're hanging out with your boyfriend too much, but I'm, just getting this feeling like I sometimes feel out of the loop, and we all live in the sorority house together. And so I feel like, oh, I don't even sleep there. Like even sometimes on weeknights, because I'll just spend the night at my boyfriend's apartment. And so I just like, am like, ugh, like what's the standard? Like what's the time split? And like my boyfriend, though, I will go to leave, like his partner will be like, I gotta go, I gotta study, like I want to see my friends, I want to do this, like, like, ugh, like we don't even spend that much time anyway. So then I'm feeling like I'm not spending enough time on, I guess, then either end. And I mean, my boyfriend's great, like he just wants to spend more time with me, like he doesn't like force me to hang out with him or anything, but
important.
Like it's more just of like, what is the rule of like hanging out, like, and I just like do not want to be that girl that loses her friends when she gets a boyfriend. Like I love my friends, I'm very independent, like I don't know. I need help, so hopefully you guys can help me. Thank you.
We like...
What is playing? Okay.
What was that?
I don't know. It's not my computer.
Was it?
It was not porn. Xena? It would be so funny.
One time this is a nightmare out of a movie, but I was giving a class presentation and porn did play.
No, no.
It was for my like TA, like it was, at a big school, you have the giant lecture and then you have the
seminar.
The seminar, yeah. And I had to give a presentation on my computer, and it
To the seminar, right?
To the 15 people that were
yeah.
in the TA's class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we had a teaching assistant who would come and teach the discussion. And I don't remember what it was, but I know for a fact feeling like how ironic that I wasn't even actually watching this porn. I think my friend had like sent me something like deeply explicit, like as like a funny card or something.
Oh, that's so
like,
college.
Like the tab was open. And I remember thinking like, it wasn't even porn that I was watching. Like I watched so much porn and it wasn't even that porn. It was like male gay porn. I was like, this is so much worse.
Oh my God. One of my all-time favorite Vines ever is when it starts on the shot of like, it's like softcore gay porn. It's the two guys kissing, and it cuts to the girl, like that little girl being like, "Don't tell mom." Do you know what I'm talking about? That one makes me laugh so hard. I cry. That's you and to your TA.
It's me when I typed in GMALE.
Okay, wait, we have to help this girl.
I didn't sleep for months when I did that. Okay, I still it was a huge deal. I had to have like a sit down talk with my parents where I confessed to them.
That's
And I was
so
crying. I thought they were gonna like send me away.
That is so funny.
Okay. Are we like the college podcast
I'm
though?
kind of loving that.
We're kind of.
This is like a college episode, and I'm having fun with it.
Okay.
I have some thoughts here, but do you have thoughts? I feel like if you have thoughts, you should go first.
No, you can go first.
So what I don't think there's a one set rule. Like I don't think it's like you should do, I don't think it's like there's like an innate rule of like 60-40 or something like that.
Yeah.
What I think is happening a little bit is I think in high school and especially in college, I'm curious what year this girl is in college. I wonder if it's like junior, senior year. When you're in like the amount of time you spend with your friends is much higher than it's going to be in your adult life, which is just like a sad reality. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're in high school, you're in class with your friends every single, for most people, you're in class with your friends every single day. And you're spending 8 hours a day at work with your friends. And then you're doing extracurriculars with them. And then you're doing social hangouts. So it's like you see your friends for hours and hours a day. It's like one of the few things about childhood and teenagehood that's like better than being an adult. Everything like, I like being an adult so much better than I liked being a kid, but like that's one of the few things I think maybe is better. And then in college, it's the same thing where it's like, I don't know, like freshman year, I spent like hours and hours with my friends just like sitting in the dorms, like doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Yep. But then like as you get older, it's like now, like I still have very deep and close friendships, but it's like maybe I see them once a week. Maybe, you know what I mean? It's a very different amount of time. And I think part of what you're going through is that transition. And the way you're experiencing it is having a boyfriend and friends and studying, which is like not that different than having like a job, a personal life, like a dating life and a social life. But it's like, I think it's a little bit of just growing up, I think. And I don't have an answer for you in terms of, I think you need to be much more intentional about how you spend time with people. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Everything you said makes sense. I can tell by the way that you're calling in, like the way that you're articulating this situation, you are more worried about this than anybody else.
Oh, that's a very astute observation.
I think that this is a lot in your head. And that's good. It should be in your head.
Yeah, it means you're a really good friend and partner.
Self-awareness. You're a good friend and a good partner.
Yeah.
You picked a great guy. Clearly, it's very clear. You have great friends. I don't think they're talking about this behind your back. You're just paranoid, but it's good to be paranoid in this situation.
Yeah.
You should be. And
Err on the side of caution.
Counter, if you're looking for a 60-40 thing, definitely skew it towards your friends. I know, I can tell you're a girl's girl. Boyfriends come and go. You need to keep your friendships, but I do think that you're thinking too much about this, and it's a good thing. Just,
yeah,
it's not a problem yet. Like
I can already tell by the fact that you're caring about this enough to think about it and call in tells me that you're not the kind of person that's just going to totally ditch your friends.
Exactly.
And I will say sometimes if it comes up as a thing, not to be like nasty, but I do think sometimes when people get accused of like, oh, you're spending all your time with your boyfriend and not with us, sometimes what's happening there is that they're jealous that you have a boyfriend.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But they have to look for the proof of that, and usually there is proof of that.
Yeah.
I don't think that okay, here's another thing that you can do that I think might help. Instead of thinking about it as like, what percentage of time should I spend? I feel like I don't have enough time in the day. There's so much going on. You gotta do time blocking, like grouping of the times where every group, school, friends, boyfriend gets its own specific, like a week. You have to like do a trip with your boyfriend. Okay. Go on like a weekend trip, 48 hours. He gets your full attention. You're not on your phones. You're completely focused on him. It will kind of like reaffirm him of your focus on him, right?
Totally.
You will have quality time. You will have your bonding. Your friends, if they're jealous, fuck them, okay? They can live without you for 2 days. Then you go and hang out with your friends, and maybe you guys do, like, make sure that all of your friends are getting your full fucking attention.
100%.
You are not checking your phone when you're with your friends. Like, when my friends in college, when I was living with my roommates who had boyfriends, it wasn't really the fact that they would like spend time with their boyfriends or sleep at their houses that would bother me whatsoever. I knew that like if I had a boyfriend and I had a different place to sleep, like I'd do 2 or 3 nights at his place sometimes too. Yeah. What would bother me is when they were home and I was talking to them and they were like on their phones thinking about their boyfriend, like, talking to their boyfriend, could not go 5 minutes without mentioning their boyfriend. Like that's what drives me fucking insane. Yeah. Is my friends who like when they're with me cannot be present with me. Yeah. If they're with the boyfriend, I'm not bothered because they're not there. I have a life outside of my friends too. But if they're with me, their attention is on me. So what I think you should do, I think you're already too worried about this, but that's a good place to be. Give your boyfriend your undivided attention sometimes, but when you're with your friends, keyword, undivided. And if you're worried about how much time you should spend with each, skew it towards your friends. But they should each get undivided attention from you. Yeah.
And one thing, just one addendum I thought about when you were saying that is, and this is maybe less applicable to this specific situation, but like more this general topic, which is like one of the most important things I think in compatibility with someone you're dating, this kind of goes towards like skewing time towards your friends, is being in sync about the amount of time you want to spend together. Like if you are dating someone who wants to spend more time with you than you want to spend with them, I think it's a bad move to give them that because eventually it's not going to be sustainable. That's not the amount of face time that you want in a partner. Do you know what I mean? Right. Obviously, there's small concessions to make, but if in general you're dating someone who wants like, 3 or 4 full days of hanging out a week and you're more of like a 2 times a week kind of person, that's not sustainable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
well,
that's
you know what
important.
I always say on here too? It's like, it's not a rule that I wish we like could all live by. It's not necessarily right, but like, what situation would you rather be in? You're chasing down your boyfriend for time or you have to tell him that you need some space. That's always better to be in the latter. It's always better to be the girl who's a little bit busy, okay?
Totally.
He's not going to like you any less. It'll only make him like you more. So don't worry about him not liking you. I'm not saying don't carve out a lot of specific time for him. Go on a trip once a semester with him. Make sure he knows that you like, and when you're with him, he has your undivided attention. It's sort of how I hear people explaining, how do I make sure my kids don't find out who's my favorite? When you're hanging out with each of them, like you might not be able to give them each the same equal amount of time, but when you're with them, they have your undivided attention and you're not talking about the other kids and you're not checking your phone about the other kids. You're with that kid. So that's how you need to be with your friends, but you're doing great. Like I guarantee if you took the time to call in before anybody even confronted you about this, you're being a great friend and nobody's thinking about it. Trust me.
And with that, we did it.
Yes, we did.
Episode. Please keep rating and reviewing. I yelled at you guys last week at the top of the episode. I didn't do that this week, but I will continue to if we don't. We know how many people listen. We need you to rate and review and we love you. Please call in with more calls at 929-269-4960. And also, like, surprise us with what you call about. Like, we love the calls.
I know, they're just getting to be a lot of the same.
Like, we're getting a lot of dating calls. We're getting a lot, and I don't mind it. Like, they're all interesting and unique. Yes. But, like, if you, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you think, oh, like, that's not really the topic of the podcast, but I want to call in about it, call in about it.
Right. And tell a friend about the pod, too.
Yeah, and tell friends about the pod.
Next time your friend comes and complains to you about something and asks for advice, just give them our number instead. That's what you should do.
Absolutely.
It'll be fun for you guys to, like, sit in the car and listen to our advice after. It'll be, like, a bonding moment.
Absolutely.
Also, if you know a Jeff in Gramercy Park, I seriously, like, you don't have to go on a date with me. You don't have to tell him, oh, Talia wants to go on a date with you. It's fine. Maybe he got my number to make sure that the conversation had an easy way out.
Yep.
Maybe he couldn't find my number after he forgot my name and he didn't know what to search for. Maybe he forgot that this happened. But I need to know, did it happen? Do I need to be committed? Okay? I'm sorry. Like, I need to know that.
Jeff, please. I don't want to lose
If you know a Jeff, if you know someone who knows a Jeff in Gramercy Park.
If it's if you spell it GEO,
Don't
DM
contact
basic
me.
training on Instagram so Talia doesn't have to see it, but we can tell her you're not crazy.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
just need to know if I'm crazy. Okay? I'm not asking for a date. I need to know if I'm sane. Thank you so much.
We love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye.